what you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Wow, guys.
Are we live? Are we live, Shady? Are we live? Are we live?
Are we live?
Are we live?
Can you hear me?
No.
Me neither.
I got a funny joke. A Timu Eminem and a guitar and on walk into a bar.
Man, this shit whack, man. I just found this shit fun, man.
Timu Eminem is no longer a friend. Apparently, they are. I'm going to just say it, Shady. You asked me if I was going to say it. They are attacking us in a way that I've never heard of before. What they're doing is they're putting bot followers on my account and then reporting my account. I have, if you know me very well, you would know that I actually took a lot of followers off my account. It was over, I think it ended up being like 17,000. But I have, a post here saying that it was 10,000. Either way, I have removed over 10,000 bot followers. It appears that there's a coordinated attack on my X account, and I have had an influx, of followers. Shady, you noticed it yesterday. I was like, what the hell? Interesting to note, you can buy followers for someone else on most social media platforms because all the seller needs is the public username or profile or link to target that account. So support. I am being targeted by Guitar Anon and ScriptKeeper17. How do I know that? Well, this is gave you an assist with the bot purge today. These are pics of taken under 3 hours apart. They're right on top of my account. This is Guitar Anon, who is a Flynn guy. Okay, it's probably Brian Gamble. This is a Script Keeper post, both within 3 minutes apart, guys. This is a coordinated attack. Matrix's new follower pages go bye-bye, and apparently there's just removed another swarm of bots. So they buy bots, and then they try to get me banned, Shady Grove. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
It really is very interesting. Like, we're going to have to give them some. We're going to have to give them some credit for creativity. Yeah. I mean, they've tried everything in the book. They've tried every single thing they could think of to stop us from speaking to you every day because they want to protect their weird occult leader. So they have to make sure that we can't expose their weird cult leader. And this is the new tactic. I also heard that they were taking screenshots, Jeff, of donations that were made by themselves to us and trying to smear us with that. That's pretty good.
Donations are free will. Okay. I mean,
but they made the donations and then they're trying to show us that we tricked them into giving us money.
Oh, tricked them. Right. This is Twitter audit. This is what I used back in the day. It's February 23rd, 2024. Twitter audit. That's the program that I used has identified 10,200 720 bad or fake followers on my account. You will see my followers going down, but I will be free from the bot farms. Sorry, psyopers. And they were really mad at me when I did this too, by the way.
Well, because effectively what they were doing is they use these farms to make it like whenever you say something that they don't like, then they like send a bunch of them over and then they unfollow you. And so you have this weird fluctuation in your following. So you decide to not say anything. Once you did that, that stopped happening to your account, by the way. It stayed stable. It's not like dropping at all. Like we're not gaining anything. Twitter's not letting us go anywhere, but they're not able to take them away either.
Yeah. President Hugh Scrippy did this? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Who else? Set Hat. I thought you were cool. I thought I was cool too.
Things happen fast around
But
here.
now he's talking about Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, took his own life to get away from everything or something. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Candace Owens bullshit. They're talking about that. They're talking about QFS. They're talking about quantum, right? They're talking about flat Earth. He's also talking about what else? Shady Groove, flat Earth. RFK Jr.'s alive. The guy's a complete nutbag, guys. I don't know what happened to him, but there was a post from Guitar Anna that says, I think we may have an opportunity. Did he get paid? Because, I'm just going to lay this out for you guys. He was a friend. I thought he was a great guy. Okay. His mom, Social Security got taken down. So he was upset. His dad moved to New York, maybe to do more Social Security. I don't know. Then moved back. His welfare or workman's comp in Florida got canceled. Okay. So then he had to go get a job because obviously he can still work. And I think he was telling me how mad he was at the Trump organization. Maybe he is a Trump hater now, guys. Don't let him fool you. Okay, I got the text. He's posting texts about me. Should I post his text too? I don't do that because I do take the higher road. He is forcing me today to actually mention Script Keeper 17 is a clown.
And so a number of different things that come into play whenever we go through all of this. You have to reconsider the game board and what exactly is happening and how people are moving around because of narratives. Listen, guys, this all started with Epstein. It started with the Epstein thing, and people like him and Candace Owens and all these other, even Charlie Kirk participated in the whole Epstein thing whenever Elon went off the rail and started screaming that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Turns out there's no real Epstein files at all. The only Epstein files that you haven't seen are court-sealed documents that the judges aren't going to release, and we told you that right there whenever it happened. That moves into Israel is controlling Donald Trump. Countries don't control human beings. I don't care how much you try to say it over and over and over again. You're talking out both sides of your mouth. Israel isn't the country of Israel isn't controlling anything. And then you're like moving into the whole reality of like Charlie Kirk isn't really dead, or the FBI is hiding what happened and they're not telling us the truth about what happened. I don't believe that. I haven't seen any evidence. I know that you guys have been spreading this stuff around ad nauseum, and Candace Owens has got your back, and you've got all these people on Twitter, and it's feeding into everybody's feed on Twitter. That doesn't make any of it true. We can clearly see the perpetrator leaving the scene of the crime. We have the gun identified by the father of the perpetrator. We have the bullet missing from the casing of the gun. We have the casing written about anti-fascist. He's got a transsexual lover who has been going back and forth with him, who is now in witness protection or being protected. He's not disappeared. It's in witness protection. Every single thing of those that is a narrative, and it's all designed very methodically by the military-industrial complex as psychological operations. All those people that you saw sitting there in front of Donald Trump yesterday, whenever he was standing up there looking out over all those army generals, you know what he was doing? He was talking to the military-industrial complex coup that occurred against America, and a lot of those guys in that auditorium were guilty, and they're feeding narratives to people online through Discord that's coming out in the front by people and narratives like what Script Keeper is doing.
Yeah. And, somebody says, sad, but it was getting to be too much. I was starting to notice. And then Mikey said, he called Mikey Mariano a pedophile.
I saw that.
And there are a few others too. So, and C-Page, how many times have we gone through this? How many times have you gone through this personally, let alone me and Shady? DQ says, so does this mean he's Antifa now? Or Anquifa? Flynn is so again, what she means by that is Antifa is using the Israel narrative to split MAGA. Okay. So Are they using I would be more willing to accept a theory that the military-industrial complex tried to take Charlie Kirk out, okay? Not Israel or Mossad, but the military-industrial complex.
I agree with that, and at no point at no point am I saying that there wasn't some sort of coordination with Robinson and the people in the background that were ginning him up to do that. I think that there was the same type of coordination with Crooks, and I think there was the same type of coordination with Ryan Routh. Part of the reason I think that Ryan Routh represented himself was because that was a way to isolate that guy and to prevent any news from coming out of that case, because he didn't have a real attorney and he looked like a complete moron up there. So interesting the way that these things are played out. I think that there is probably going to be some sort of assistance or some sort of encouragement that Robinson had in the murder of Kirk. But all you have to do really is you have to find somebody that you think is actually capable of doing it and then encourage them. That's all you really have to do with the stochastic terrorism. People's minds are think about it like a primer. Your mind is primed. All you got to do is like pull the trigger to take the shot.
And I also want to put this out there too. It looks like Mikey Mariano posted a public version of Script Keeper's background check. Why don't you go to Mikey_Mariano? Mikey, post it in here. I don't even care anymore. I paid my child support. I am not a deadbeat dad. I've got 2 speeding tickets. What you got? Okay. Why are all these people felons that attack us? And that's been a standard thing, guys. And I'm sorry.
It is a standard thing. It is standard. I mean, that's not a joke. I know you say that like it's a joke, but like literally almost every single person that's out there is they're either a 400-pound German lady or a felon.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he is now aligned with the people he said. So let's just Tisha, okay, was handled by who? What was her name? The Canadian lady. What's her name?
Canadian lady.
Yeah, the Canadian lady that was on Trump's team, and what's her freaking name?
British lady. You're talking about
Jan Halper.
Canadian lady. You threw me way off on that one.
Whatever she is. Sorry. So you got Tisha, who was handled by Jan Halper. You've got Marty, who is handled by Mary Fanning. You've got Script Keeper, who's handled by Guitar Anon.
And they literally added. So if you don't know, Jeff's account went up like 5,000 followers yesterday. A day before yesterday, his account has been like 186, 186.1 on Twitter, whatever. It went up to like 191, and I'm like, or 189, and I mentioned it to him yesterday. Within the time before we prepared for the show, it had gone up another couple thousand. And then we see these guys going back and forth about like fake followers. And so obviously somebody bought 5,000 fake followers to try to put on Jeff's Twitter. And then all of a sudden a Twitter purge happened, and they were immediately removed.
Yeah. I want to also point this out too. He said this, he goes, "It's my turn now. I've been pretty quiet with the smear job. My turn now." So he's going to smear us. Okay.
How?
I don't know. Because I wore red shoes in 2016 for women's battered shelter, He
didn't get the counseling tapes, did he?
No, he didn't get the counseling tapes. Thank God. But it's just they got nothing on me. But why is it always attacking me? Why is it always attacking you and the listeners of this show? Why is that?
It is because effectively by attacking us, what they're doing is attacking the people that listen to the show. Remember, they've said a number of times that they've got to figure out a way to get their audience. Well, our audience just keeps getting bigger. And by the way, it's going to get even bigger here real soon. So buckle up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just whack.
Man, this shit whack, man. I just down this shit fucking, man. I understand it's like pussy no fucking good, man. Bitch be calling me tapping that shit.
Yeah, that's Timu Eminem right there. Wow. All right, Snowman Q, welcome. Press 17 if Script Keeper led you to us. That's the one thing. If there's one silver lining, we've got a lot of great followers, and they're going to press 17 if they never watched us or watched us, and then Script Keeper said, go watch. Let's see how many people are here, because, here we are. There's Lincoln Loggers a 17. Who else?
No.
No. DQ's a 17. Thank you, DQ. Love you.
We're appreciative of anybody that just wants to
learn the truth
out of the nonsense. It's this all got kicked off because Jeff was trying to explain to him that the stuff that he was posting was ridiculous. He brought some of this ridiculous stuff to the forefront and started posting it and acting like it's real on Twitter, and Jeff's tried to explain to him that these are narratives, that this is fake, that this is, but it generates, a couple 100,000 impressions and a bunch of clicks. So people that are desperate for money will do desperate things for money.
Susie Q, thank you. Let's see. Sagpig, thank you so much. Lynn MC, thank you. We didn't want this fight. Okay. I actually thought he was a good guy.
I didn't come to this to fight with anybody.
Maxwell Smart, thank you.
Except for the people that are corrupt in government, but it seems like there's a lot of people that speak for corrupt government on social media that I didn't quite realize before I started this whole endeavor.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kimmy Mac, 16. We choose to focus on all the winning. So thankful to be here where the truth is learned, never told. Thanks, Shannon, Jeff, and MG fam. I have learned so much from you. Love you all. And we've learned so much together. That's what this is about.
That's what's been the cool part of the journey. Well, because so many of you, and it continues to happen, the relationships that we've been able to forge, just think about it. We've got relationships on here in this chat right now that we literally, we went back and forth with Pastor Chatelet in 2018.
I remember that. Also, Black Cat Mom says, I was on War Drummer the night he had his fit. So
that was hilarious. We were there
I'm
together.
going to show you this. This is it, guys. We have won every single time.
Haven't lost yet.
This little Timu Eminem is not going to win.
And this shit whack, man. I just found this shit fun, man. I don't understand. It's like pausing.
I mean, he's calling me in the gay tricks, guys. I mean, he's total flipped with Flynn, guys. So there you go. He flipped the script, and he's dead to me. And that's all I'm going to talk about with this guy. I think I just needed to explain to you guys because he's been using my name on his show and our his show and Twitter and working with Guitar Anon. And I think we have an opportunity. Did he get paid for Guitar Anon? What is the problem with this guy? If he's caring for his mom, how can he leave for work? Elderly abuse? Wow, DQ. Okay.
You don't know.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, guys, want you all to, we all just, we misread Chatelet. We probably did, but we put him in Gitmo.
Yeah, we did. We had totally put him in Gitmo, man. I'm forever sorry about that.
Yeah. I've been noticing over the last 2 months that Script was saying that he wasn't wasn't resonating with me anymore. Something has changed with him. Maxwell Smart, thank you.
He started to go against Trump.
You can almost pick them out of their vocab limited to the F word. You guys win people because they come with facts and sources here for vids. Thank you so much.
If you think Israel is controlling Donald Trump or Bibi Netanyahu is controlling or puppeting Donald Trump, you're anti-Donald Trump. Yep. You're anti-MAGA. You don't believe in MAGA. You don't believe in Donald Trump. You don't believe that what we're doing is real. You think that you're like the David Ikes of the world. You think that it's all just for show. You think that they were fighting Donald Trump. 98% of all the stories they wrote were negative about Donald Trump because they really wanted him to be the president. Yeah. It's like the logical fallacy that are involved for you to get to this place. It's like there is no answer to it other than it's clickbait. That's the only answer to it. There's no brain on earth that could actually believe that and say it at a dinner table.
Snowmake says the nonstop mother effer words was stomach turning, the worst mouth I've ever heard. Move on, says Wigwam. Script fooled me with false info. I stopped my script at the beginning of the month. Guys, I'm just saying, we needed to say something about it. I know you guys don't like to hear it, but you know what? I am going to defend myself. What would Donald Trump do? Would he just sit around and go, oh, I'm being attacked by, Timu Eminem? Or would he say, what is the truth? The truth is this guy flipped, okay? And the truth is he is a dirtbag, okay? And the truth is I have no use for him. He only, clout chased on us. So God bless you all. Thank you. And I will talk about this stuff. I wasn't gonna, Shady.
I noticed.
Yeah. So, and a lot of violence on his show. He used to send peeps to Gitmo all the time. I did, Spark. You probably were in there once or twice. Anyways, I appreciate the truth. Trust, he was...
People were coming at us sideways.
Yeah. And remember, so England 17, who's from the Breb crew, who's not even an American, was under script saying, and Peterson's pesky Q-proofs. That's what they're mad at.
They're mad at them. They don't like it, and that's the reason we're calling them pesky. You see, these people are anti-Q. The people that came around, like the Liz Crokens of the world and all these people that had the Pizzagate going on, they weren't really pro-Q. They just had to deal with it in real time. So they were obfuscating it, manipulating it, and trying to utilize it as their own resource and connect it to their own dumb theories. Yeah. which were that dumb theories. Like this whole thing with Epstein right now and all this stuff, like everybody having their dumb theories about what Epstein really was. It looks to me like, Jeff, that a lot of these celebrities and stuff that were connected to Epstein were actually part of the money laundering more than it looks like they were part of a pedophile ring.
Yeah. Real quick, Q United We Stand. Q, thank you for exposing script. I'm sad that I had to do it, right? It's not what I wanted. Hurley says they always start off on your show and then bend over to the devil.
They do. We break them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's whack.
Because you can't ride with the truth and not be truthful. Because the reality is that one of the two of us, Jeff or Shady One, will see that you're posting stuff that is obviously something that you don't believe. I have the same issue with the SCIF guy, the Ghost of Ezra moron, the MJ Truth dude, all of you people, Candace Owens, all you people posting all of this absolute nonsense. Candace Owens is generated. She's like literally using AI to come up with some of the dumbest theories she could possibly come up with and connected to Charlie Kirk. And then she's feeding them to you guys. And then you guys are like eating it like it's the gospel and spitting it back out at everybody. And Twitter is putting it in every single human being's feed that's on the network. That's how this works. You're not going to see our information. If Jeff posts underneath it that says, hey, this is BS because of X, then you don't see that post. It gets put to probable spam, and all you see is all the people like, oh, yeah, you're right over the target, derp, 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 and they're licking windows obsessively.
Yeah, and I'm going to just leave it at this, guys. Let me just grab this real quick. Let me make this so I can see it. Okay, so... this is good point. If you have to spend Christmas with Script Keeper, things are pretty effing bad, right? There it is. There's Script Keeper. Then and now, once a friend came to my house to a Flynn ally. Can someone tap Script Keeper to unblock me? There's an opportunity here. ... Not all Anons are authentic injected. This has happened to us thousands of times. Infiltration, not invasion. I will not put up with it. Ha! Later. Shady,
it's done.
Let's move on.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Let's move on. Thank you, guys. But you know what? You know, Rush, you've been here. You've been here for a long time, too. But thank you, guys, okay? And screw all these tards. My main goal is to expose Governor Craig Abbott. Oh, my God. Thank you, Texas sarcastic Brett.
There's a correlation between what happened yesterday and what Donald Trump is doing. And I'm telling you right now, you have to, we played that for a reason. We played you yesterday what Pete Hegseth said. That's what's relevant right now. I don't want to talk about any of this stuff anymore.
Yep.
I want to talk about what?
Winning.
I want to talk about
winning.
I want to talk about how that we can stand against what it is that's coming against you. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what we're here to talk about. What we've been having it happen to us is that the playbook is PSYOPs, okay? The playbook is psychological operations. The playbook is gaslighting and virtue signaling. That's the playbook, and that's what they're all doing. They're utilizing things that are not real and making them look like they are real, and whenever people amplify them, it looks like that they are really real. The work that we have done to navigate our way to here was all about getting to a conclusion of discernible truth between us, an agreeable position in the middle. In other words, you don't have an iron in any fire. This is very important. Think about this for a second. I don't have an iron in any fire. In other words, you don't have a vested interest in anything being true or false. Can you do that? If you can do that, that's the reason you're here. The only reason that you're here is because at some point you've been able to do that. You do not have an iron in any fire. I do not have a vested interest in Epstein being a pedophile. I do not have a vested interest in Adam Schiff doing anything. I do not have a vested interest in anything. Nothing. Only thing I know is what it is that I can prove and what we can prove on paper to people. That's what this show is doing. This is the reason that we're different, because what we're doing is we're showing you what it is that we can prove to be true. And what I can prove to be true is that the military-industrial complex, in tandem with the Catholic Church, have been running psychological operations against the American people for 100 years. The Pacor bloodline in the Federal Reserve occupied the Catholic Church before the 1900s. The same bloodline families that are occupying the Catholic Church, the same bloodline families that are running the Federal Reserve, the same bloodline families that are occupying the military-industrial complex, the same bloodline families that are occupying all of your Freemasonry lodges around the country, the same bloodline families that are occupying the cartel, those same bloodline families are the ones that are currently running psychological operations on you through the military-industrial complex of that group of people that were sitting in front of Donald Trump yesterday. And Pete Higgs has said to them, specifically to them, every one of them, if what I'm saying to you makes you feel uncomfortable, then get your ass up and leave. Yeah. Resign now, because we don't need you. This is how the conversation is changing. This is how you're winning. And this is the reason that all of these numbnuts over here that are associated with the military-industrial complex, like General Flynn and Gitaranon and all of these people running psyops on you, were present in that room, and they didn't like the message they heard.
Yeah. Real quick, just want to thank G Brothers. Rush did a comment, subscription as well. Nicole Tarina, much love. Jeff and Shady MAGA, thank you. Candle, I love you guys. Love you too, Candle, man. You know, it's. Oh, and by the way, Shady, look at this. This is Tin Man. Remember Tin Man? Replying to Tin Man. Remember Tin Man from Discord days? These are the same trolls, Shady Groove. Wow. Remember Tin Man, Shady?
I do.
Yep. All right, so let's go back. We've got J.D. Vance, your vice president. You remember, Flynn campaigned against J.D. Vance. Let's just, be honest with what's happening here. So J.D. Vance, the one that Flynn campaigned against, okay, didn't want his VP either, calls out the Democrats' hypocrisy today. We've got to watch it. It's amazing. Remember, the government shut down at midnight last night, Shady Groove, and the Democrats are on the TV lying about why they shut it down. They're acting like it's, healthcare it's illegals, guys. They're lying about it. They're lying to you, and they're lying to your friends and family, and we've got to call them out. It's time, Shady.
Well, it's time to not only call them out, but it's time to get rid of them. It's time to eliminate the swamp. Whenever we said drain the swamp, you know what the best time to drain a swamp is? Whenever they walk away from the swamp. It's the perfect time to drain it. And I think that what Donald Trump's getting ready to do is going to be far above and beyond what you think he's going to do. And that's the reason that all these people that we're seeing out there are at a fever pitch, trying to attack him, trying to destabilize MAGA. And in all reality, at the core, they're doing the opposite.
Yeah. President Hughes says, note to self, don't go on the MG show or they might convert me into a douche canoe. I would much rather stay over here in the friends category. You dorks hear that? I put the MG show in the friend zone.
Friend zone!
We friend zoned Hugh G.
Friend zone.
President-elect Hugh Janus. Thank you so much for that, brother.
Thanks for saying that.
Oh, my God. Here we go. This is your large vice president, the one I voted for, okay? The one I wanted when Trump endorsed him in Ohio, and he was being endorsed against by Flynn. Very interesting. And now we got the Flynn people attacking us still? Wow, imagine that. Here we go.
This is a Fox News alert. Right now, the U.S. government shut down after a last-ditch Senate vote failed to keep it funded.
Vice President J.D. Vance joins us now. Mr. Vice President, thanks for joining Fox and Friends this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good to be with you.
So y'all been going back and forth. Y'all had the leadership over. What are they asking for? Because you guys made it very clear. You just want a clean CR. What do they want in return?
Yeah, so Lawrence, I want to answer that, but let's step back for a second because I think it's important for the American people to realize that the far left faction of Senate Democrats shut down the government because we wouldn't give them hundreds of billions of dollars for health care benefits for illegal aliens. It's actually not even all Senate Democrats. I was really gratified to see that a few of the moderate Senate Democrats voted with Senate Republicans last night to keep the government open. This is basically Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, he's worried he's going to get a primary challenge from AOC, and so he's shutting down the people's government to give in to sort of the left-wing coalition and their party. And it's craziness, and people are going to suffer because of it. I mean, people who benefit from low-income food programs are going to suffer because of this. If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today, starting today. And obviously, the longer this drags on, the worse that it is for the American people. So we are where we are. And to your point, what do Senate Democrats ask for? Well, initially, they said that they wanted to shut down the government because Donald Trump was a dictator. Okay, that's absurd. Then they said they wanted to shut down the government because they wanted hundreds of billions of dollars for health care benefits for illegal aliens. That, of course, is also absurd. And now they're saying they just want to work on ensuring that Americans have low-cost health care. Well, I agree with them. Of course, we all want to ensure that Americans have low-cost health care, so let's work together on that. You don't shut the government down. You don't take the government as a hostage because you want to engage in a negotiation about health care costs. Let's do that negotiation, but let's do it in the context of actually opening the government and ensuring those essential services are actually provided to the American people.
Speaker Johnson has a video running continuously outside of his office, and he also posted it on social media because the Democrats, when you go in the Wayback Machine, they were always the one that thought that these shutdowns were reckless. Listen to this, Mr. Vice President.
It is not normal to shut down the government when we don't get what we want.
If the government shuts down, it will be average Americans who suffer most. A government shutdown means seniors who rely on Social Security could be thrown into chaos.
Families will be hurt. Farmers will be hurt.
It's the service members who will work without a paycheck. It's the firefighters who will be furloughed.
This shutdown, you know who's going to feel the pain? You know who it hurts? You. Everyday people and the most vulnerable. Seniors, veterans, working families, hungry kids, y'all.
Well, then why didn't they vote to continue the funding?
That's such a good point, and I see that Mike Johnson has apparently learned from the trolling master, President Donald Trump, by putting that video outside of his office, just throwing the Democrats' words right back at him. But it's actually such an important point. You don't shut the government down because you have a policy disagreement. These are two separate questions. There are essential services that have already been appropriated, where we've already agreed, we want our military to have a certain amount of payment. We want air traffic control to have a certain amount. We want to ensure that a certain number of people are able to access food benefits. You don't shut down the government because you have a policy disagreement about a totally separate issue. And that's what the Democrats have done. And it really is astonishing to go back 20 years. I mean, I pretty much the entire time, guys, that I've paid attention to American politics, I have seen Democrats stand before the American people and say, you don't shut down the government because you're not getting what you want. And here they are last night, the far left faction of Senate Democrats, they shut down the government. Why? Because they're not getting what they want. And what makes it extra preposterous, guys, if you actually listen to what they say that they want to ensure this, it's a premium support program under Obamacare that they want to keep going. Well, that premium support program doesn't even expire until next year. So why are you shutting down the government on October the 1st because of a program that doesn't even expire for another few months? Let's talk about it. Let's negotiate. Let's do what you do in Washington, D.C. Don't shut down the government because you don't get what you want. That's exactly what Senate Democrats have done in this case.
So let's just put up a full screen. You mentioned some of it, of the potential effects of the government shutdown. Mass furloughs, federal employees and active duty military members don't get paychecks. We have travel delays. You mentioned TSA, Social Security and SNAP and WII and WIC applications, delays in Medicare and Medicaid payments, some VA services and career counseling. So these are some of the things that will happen. Smithsonian could be closed, National Zoo. I hope someone feeds the animals, but we're not going to be able to see the animals. Can we talk about another thing that could be happening? Could Democrats begin to crack? Now, Rand Paul's on his own planet for some reason, doesn't want to vote for anything, but Fetterman, Cortez Masto, as well as Angus King, all voted with the Republicans in the Senate where he used to work. Are you hearing there could be other Democrats who don't want to go through this before the weekend and vote with you?
Yeah, Brian, I think that there will be. And if you look, frankly, when I talked to the president and our legislative team yesterday afternoon, I thought we would get 53, 54 votes. We got 55 votes because, again, that moderate faction of the Senate Democrats recognizes this is just an unreasonable position. You're not going to shut down the government because you disagree about a funding program that doesn't even expire for another few months. So I think what's going to happen is that as the political pressure builds and as we continue to have these negotiations, you're going to see more and more Democrats come to the side of reason and reopen the government. But look, I'd offer right now to the Senate Democrats, I'm happy. I will go to the Capitol right now to talk to Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats about premium support for the Affordable Care Act, but only after they've reopened the government. You can't reward this exercise in hostage taking, which is what we would be doing if we allowed government the government opening to be conditional on the Democrats' policy disagreements. So we're going to negotiate with them. We, of course, want to lower healthcare costs for the American people. Look, we inherited this economy from the Biden administration. We know that healthcare costs were way too high under the Biden administration. By the way, it's one of the reasons why the president announced yesterday that we're lowering prescription drug costs for all Americans by forcing Europeans and other countries to pay their fair share so that Americans can pay lower costs. So we obviously care a lot about lowering healthcare costs for Americans, but we're not going to engage in negotiation with hostage takers, which is exactly what the Democrats have done. Now, I think, Brian, it was you who listed off some of the problems that come along with the shutdown. Let me add another one. This is October. We are entering hurricane season all across the southeastern part of our country. Flood insurance for a lot of the people who are suffering from hurricanes or could suffer from hurricanes is going to disappear because the government is shut down. Let's reopen the government. Let's fix some of the core issues that exist for our country. And then let's negotiate about the Democrats' health care policy ideas, which we're happy to do, but only when the government is open.
Well, Mr. Vice President, one of the lies that continues to be told is that they're not giving funding to illegals' health care. Can you explain to our audience why that's not true?
Yeah, so this is a Democrat talking point. They say we're not actually trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens, and here's why it's not true. There are two Biden-era programs that explicitly gave the taxpayer health care money to illegal aliens that we turned off when President Trump took over in January. Program number one is there's a lot of emergency health care at hospitals that are provided to illegal aliens. That was funded by the federal government. We turned off that funding because, of course, we want American citizens to benefit from those hospital services, not to be taxed and then to have those hospital services go to illegal aliens. The second of which is the Biden administration gave mass parole to millions upon millions of illegal aliens, and then they simultaneously made those parolees eligible for health care benefits funded by taxpayers. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, President Trump and congressional Republicans turned off that money to health care funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to turn it back on. And in their initial proposal, the first thing that they put out to reopen the government, they actually turned that money for health care benefits for illegal aliens back on. So it's not something that we made up. It's not a talking point. It is in the text of the bill that they initially gave to us to reopen the government. It's preposterous for them to run away from it now. But look, let's set that all to the side. Let's open up the government. Let's negotiate on all of these healthcare policy issues. Obviously, we're not going to support healthcare benefits for illegal aliens, but we will work with them to lower healthcare costs for American citizens if they're willing to do so.
President Trump, he shared some pictures from the Oval Office meeting with Chuck Schumer and with Hakeem Jeffries, with Speaker Johnson and with Thune. And we wanted to ask you about any insight into that meeting, because the last shutdown, Mr. Vice President, was 35 days. Americans can't go, here are the pictures, Americans cannot go that long without getting a paycheck or being furloughed. So can you give us some insight into what they talked about, maybe how we can come to a compromise?
And the hats.
The Trump trolling them with 28 hats.
Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. That's the most important part. They're also the Trump 2028 hats, which I think made the majority or the minority leader in both the House and the Senate very uncomfortable. But look, it was the four of them plus me and the president, and we were having a very good conversation about healthcare policy. But the president finally sort of threw up his hands and said, guys, let's absolutely work on this healthcare policy disagreement. We want to fix this issue for the American people, but we're not going to be taken hostage. We're not going to shut down the government and then give you everything that you want. Let's negotiate, but we're not going to reward this behavior. You have to remember, their first proposal about a week ago was to give a bunch of healthcare money to illegal aliens, and then they came back to us and said, okay, no, we don't have to do that. Let's do this other thing. You don't do a negotiation like that. You don't take the American economy hostage and then tell the president of the United States, give us everything that we want or we're going to shut down the people's government. It's ridiculous. And look, we had, again, a good conversation, but a conversation where I think they still refuse to acknowledge that their negotiating tactic was unreasonable. That if you take Hakeem Jeffries' words or you take Chuck Schumer's words, what they have said for literally in Chuck Schumer's case, decades, is that you don't shut the government down over a policy disagreement. Now that's exactly what they've done. Let's get back to rationality, open up the government, and then we can sit down and talk.
All right, you've talked to us enough. Your team says you have to go, and you have to listen to your team. Mr. Vice President, thanks so much for your time.
And thank you for your beautiful message at Charlie's memorial service. Millions of people watched that. It was beautiful. We're sorry for your loss. I know he was your good friend.
Thank you. He was a very good guy, a very tragic thing for our country, but we appreciate you guys. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
Did you see how
Overnight, the U.S. government shutting down after a last-ditch Senate vote.
Did you see how J.D. Vance went into, like, he's really not dead? He actually is not dead, and he's in witness protection program. And did you hear J.D. say all that? Isn't that great?
No, sir. I didn't catch that part. He acted like that his friend was shot in the neck and taken from us. And
this is so disrespectful, guys. I am so sorry. We never played into it. We won't play into it, okay? And you guys are smarter than that. I mean, he had a beautiful family, a beautiful wife, 2 children. My God, guys.
So with everything that what we're seeing right now, guys, I think this is the same thing. I think that the reason that Pete Hegseth scheduled and Trump scheduled that meeting with the military generals yesterday was because they knew that this was going to come today. And there's roughly 4 or 5 million people total that are part of the military industrial complex and the federal government on the payroll. And I think that if you're going to actually drain the swamp, then you've got to get these people out of the bureaucracy. You have to get rid of the bureaucracy that is it's the tangled web that holds it all together that prevents we, the people, from being in control of our own destiny, because you've got all these people in the way acting like they're smarter than everybody else. Well, they're not. There's not a single human being in government that is smarter than any of you out there. I promise you that. If anything, it's quite the opposite. The reality is we need more smart people in government. So seeing this all play out today, guys, this is exactly what it is. I can't be happier. And I just want to make this clear. I couldn't be happier to be 9 months in at the position that we're in with this administration. I couldn't be happier with the breakneck speed that he is moving at. And if you're not paying attention, if you're paying attention, you're seeing that what he's doing is he's putting crazy funny memes of the idiots on the other side of the political aisle up on Twitter. And as they're freaking out about that, he invites people into the White House and explains how we're going to take on and solve the problem of childhood cancer. Yeah. And then they have all the kids sitting there and they're explaining to them like what's going on with their disease. And
that was amazing.
It was amazing. And the media, I said yesterday, the media is like, 3 seconds away from being pro childhood cancer.
I mean, my God. I mean, they're pro letting illegals out of prison and bringing into the country and killing your kids, and judges let somebody go 39 times, Shady.
They let like 50,000 hardened criminals out of California prisons, like under Biden. 50,000 of those people they let out on the streets of California, man. Yeah. You can't have corruption win the day if you have law and order. Corruption can only win the day if you have criminal activity everywhere where nobody can figure out who the criminals are. That's what they're trying to keep going on. And they were Pam Bondi. Did you see her message this morning about Memphis? 50 guns off the street last night, 30 arrests. So, here we come, Memphis, Tennessee. And that's kind of special to me because that's where my grandparents.
Me special is Chicago.
Yeah, your family came from Chicago, and my ancestor type family came from Memphis.
Your ancestors, is that where the caves were back in caveman days?
Yeah, that's where they would drag women back into the caves to take them.
Oh God, stop. All right, real quick, Shady, let's go ahead and do this because we're sponsored again, Shady. Let's be clear, cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here. At this latest move, and this latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi, staking rewards and real-world perks like basically cash back on your spends to launch America's first CRO treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. Do you want in on the action? Head to Crypto.com today and grab some CRO, and let's make crypto great again.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for Crypto.com. This is pretty cool.
That's Trump Media Group, brother, sponsoring this show.
Yeah, they requested to sponsor the show, just to let you guys know.
There's ads that are just regular ads, and they're for you ads. This is a for you ad, and we couldn't be more proud to support President Donald Trump's Trump Media Group, Shady.
The Trump Media Group and agenda and the future. I saw the video of Barron in my phone this morning, Jeff. I couldn't help but post it. I was like, I get excited.
Did you hear that he brought a girl to Trump Tower and they had to clear the floor? And
Yep.
Wow, Barron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, his whole business with that he's doing with the luxury real estate stuff, that's taken off. So, another successful Trump coming up.
And by the way, Temu M&M doesn't have that same sponsorship. I'll just tell you.
I haven't seen anybody on Rumble with that sponsorship.
I haven't either. All right, so we've got Karoline Leavitt coming up at 1, and she's going to take questions from the wonderful, well-educated, fair reporting press. That should be interesting. But there's probably going to be one good person in the seat. We'll see what happens. But that's coming up at 1, and we will have that here. So don't worry about, leaving or anything else. Free Future says, you guys are great. You're great, Free Future. Somebody get that Free Future Rumble Red Castle, guys, because they're making a lot of great comments out there, too. We appreciate you coming. I don't know if it's your first time here, but thank you.
I did notice a couple of comments that saying that a few people have been finding the show new. And if you are new here, thank you so much. And what you realize really quickly is we don't go along with the crowd here. We don't go along with people that say things and then amplify them online. And right now we are currently in the middle of navigating probably the most confusing landscape that we have, you go back to like the times when Q was posting and how confusing things were. I don't think that it compares to right now because you've got all these people that have become influencers like Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, Candace Owens. They're sucking in millions of people and then they're like programming them and spitting them back out to like run up at you and scream that they know something because they heard somebody on TV say it. It's like, it's kind of worse than what the mainstream media was doing on some regard.
Yeah. C-Stave says, I share show on Facebook and text messages. C-Stave, I think I know you on True Social. I don't remember, but you look familiar. Wigwam, 5 subscriptions. Thank you. And thank you. Wigwam, Trust 1961 a subscription, and Rev Rob a subscription. We got G. Westbury, Chief Exposers. Sadly, I mean, we don't want to be. We want to trust it. Shady, remember when we said, let's just not have anybody else on our show?
I know.
because everybody ended up to be bad, So we can't be that way. We got to give people enough.
I give everybody a chance
to hang themselves.
I give everybody a chance, and we're going to continue to give it. And that's why we don't take down the information about people that have been on or whatever. It's like, I'm not trying to hide. As soon as we take any of that stuff down, they're like, oh, they're pretending like they never did this. So it's like, you're blanked if you do, blanked if you don't.
Agent Miami, thank you so much. 1 subscription as well. And, people are like, you have pictures of General Flynn on your web. Yeah, that's part of our journey, guys.
That's how we
had to go through everything we had to go through, just like in life. You have to go through the negatives and the positives in order to be the person you are today. And if you can look in that mirror, forgive yourself and just say, you know what, and give yourself to Jesus and believe in God and want just the truth, Shady. That's all I want, nothing more. That's why I picked The Matrix. I love the movie The Matrix. And I love that movie because all I want is the truth, nothing more. And you know what? A fact is a fact, whether I like it or not. That we address confirmation bias. We address everything here on this show that you have been psychologically manipulated by the psychological operators from the military-industrial complex. It's very crazy how we've been here, and we've navigated this. 4,000 or 5,000 people have turned on us from Discord days when we were called into Discord by the Flynn Network. Now, Twitter, it looks like moldy bread on the chans. It's all the same people. It's all anti-Jew. Charlie Kirk didn't kill himself. I mean, it's all so stupid. Alexis, God bless Alexis Wilkins. She's, Cash's girlfriend, a Mossad asset. Are you kidding me? She's a Protestant country singer. She's not a Mossad asset. You guys
are that too.
Yes, he was. You guys are grabbing on to bullshit, and we just try to, fight through it, okay? And, I'd say the word bullshit. I know it's pretty, Trump says it, but it is. We just want the truth, nothing more. And I think you and I, Shady, in this show, and people that follow this show, decode Q correctly. And I think that's what they're afraid of and mad at. And remember, more pesky Q proofs that happen, the more attacks we're going to get. And boy, oh boy, it's like every day there's a pesky Q proof, Shady.
Hey, so I've got something like, do you have the chat up right there?
I have it.
Yeah, so click that link and play that for him if you would.
Click that link. Oh, there it is. Shady Group status.
I think it might connect to what you just said.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see.
Isn't it strange how paradoxical your world feels? Learning something new makes you feel dumb before it makes you wise. Working out makes you feel weak before it makes you strong. Facing your fears makes you feel terrified before it makes you brave. In order to heal, you have to suffer. And in order to have peace, you need chaos. Because life disguises growth as failure and progress as pain. But if it feels hard, it probably matters. Because becoming is messy. It breaks who you were to make room for who you're meant to be. You don't build strength by feeling powerful. You build it by showing up when you feel powerless. So if you feel tired, uncertain, and behind, you might just be in the middle of becoming. And that's exactly where you're supposed to be.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
Isn't it strange how...
It's strange.
Isn't it strange?
It's funny how... You know, and it's funny too, like Shady with Groove with 3 O's and In the Matrix with 3 X's. We didn't plan that. We met and he was Shady Groove with 3 O's and I was In the Matrix because 1 X was taken, 2 X was taken, and I had to take 3 because I had Dobermans, a Neo and a Trinity, a red Dobie Neo and a black Dobie Trinity. And they're still on Instagram in the Dobe Tricks, DOBE for Doberman. They're still on Instagram with 5,000 followers. I miss those dogs, but I've loved the Matrix for a long time. It's not because I like 666. It's because 1 X was taken, 2 X's was taken, and 3. And you had 3 O's, which is amazing. And it's just like X's and O's. That's hugs and kisses. That's love, brother.
I put mine up in 2011.
Yeah,
I literally didn't make a post from that count for like 6 or 7, 8 years or something, and then all of a sudden, like Q started to post. I'm like, oh yeah, I do have a Twitter account, and so I started posting. Yeah. I thought Shady Groove was a great band name. I thought that. Wow, and now there's a band out there called Shady Groove with 2 O's, by the way.
Patriot Pollywog, I'm not a bot. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
You're not a bot. You're awesome, Patriot.
You're not a bot. Not a bot. Wow.
We are becoming.
Yeah. So this is where we're at. We've got in the next half, we've got the amazing press secretary, Karoline Leavitt. And it'll be interesting to see what she has to say today now that we have this government shutdown. I cannot wait to see it. Get your popcorn and buckle up for this one.
I mean, the press are going, and plus, the press are going to be talking about the Hakeem Jeffrey sombrero meme, and then he had the other meme with the mariachi band behind him, and it's like they're out on, they're trying to get triggered on the news, but before they could get triggered on the news, Donald Trump is like 3 things. He's already done 3 things past what it was that they're triggered about. Like nobody's talking about that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
He's moving faster than they can move.
We are moving fast. And Trump is moving at such breakneck speed, guys. It's so hard to keep, up with them, right? I mean, wow.
Yep. And, you're saying out there, I used to like Candace and Tucker, and really something happened to both of them. Yeah, something happened to both of them. They got activated whenever Q said sleepers will turn. Okay, that means that they're pretending that they're MAGA. Like these people like Flynn and stuff, they pretend like they're MAGA, and they get all amped up whenever we call it out. But we can prove that they aren't acting as you would act being
Shady,
MAGA.
Shady Patriot Sparky just busted me. No, Jeff has the OnlyFans. That's a XXX. We'll be right back after these messages.
Oh,
busted.
Don't go there.
Busted.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
To MyPillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
Calling the White House comment line.
Hello, America. This is White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. Democrats in Congress have shut down the federal government because they care more about funding health care for illegal immigrants than they care about serving you, the American people. Until Democrats vote for the clean, Republican-backed continuing resolution to reopen the government, the White House is unable to answer your call or respond to your questions. We look forward to hearing from you again very soon. And in the meantime, please know President Trump will never stop fighting for you. Thank you, and God bless you.
And just like I've told you for many, many years, you don't have to lie about things. You don't have to sensationalize them. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to invent figures. The truth is bad enough. The truth's bad enough. And if you tell the truth, you have credibility. And credibility means people will listen to you. Credibility means things will be tended to. When you lie and people find out that you're lying, and it's easy, it is so easy to discover, then you have no credibility. You become a liar. You become somebody with no confidence factor. You become a rumor monger. You become a minion of the old, who was it? Who was it that was billed as the great deceiver? I wonder who that was. See, whenever you spread a rumor, whenever you tell a lie,
Timu M&M?
whenever you stretch the truth or sensationalize something, and I don't care what the reason is that you do it, you become an ally of the great deceiver. Somebody called him Heinrich Himmler. Somebody else called him Lucifer. Somebody else called him Satan.
I call him Timu M&M.
You can call him anybody you want. But listen to me very carefully. He's not anybody I want around me. His minions are not anybody that I want to know or be associated with or hear from. His minions and allies and supporters are not the people that I care about. You understand? You want to be on his side? Stay the hell away from me. Don't call me. Don't write me. Don't reference me. Don't email me. I don't want anything to do with you. If you're a spreader of rumors and lies and disinformation and sensationalization and all of this other bullshit. Do you hear me, sheeple? I don't know why it makes people so angry. You know, if all get off your butts and do the same research that I do, you would know the same things that I know, and you shouldn't be angry or jealous or upset. What you should be is thankful for having forewarning so that you can act upon it. But do you ever act upon anything? Have you ever? Will you ever? That's the question. That is the hinge upon which the door to the future operates. You don't know that. You don't give a damn, probably. Because to oil the hinge and make the door work and make it all better, you gotta get up off your ass and do something. Oh, heaven forbid you have to do that. Oh my goodness, you might even have to take some kind of personal risk. You might even get on somebody's list. Oh, people might even start to respect you because you cease to become worthless. Aha! But, who am I to dream like that? Come on, Bill. I mean, you're really getting away with yourself here, dreaming like that. Come on, Bill. Get real.
All right, and welcome back to the MG Show. Shady, I muted you because we get that feedback if you go too early. So welcome, unmute, and welcome back to the MG Show.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. That video is exactly how I feel, Shady Groove. Couldn't have said it better myself.
No, that's why we play it for you, because that is the anthem of what it is that we do here. That is the spirit of why we started to broadcast. And in all reality, we sort of thought whenever we started to broadcast that there was a whole bunch of other people around us that were actually involved in the spirit of broadcasting in the same sense, because we felt like, oh, wow, you guys understood who this person was too, and you listened to him. But no. Not everybody that listens to Bill Cooper heard his message.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't. Or they forgot it because it was a long time ago. And we will keep that alive right here on the MG Show. We are waiting for the press secretary to be live. Yes, the White House did send you a notification saying that she's going to brief the media, but it says we'll begin shortly. So we got you right here on the MG Show. We will join it live. And plus, I'm very excited to hear what she has to say today. And I'm also very excited to hear what these fake news media people have to say.
It's the advocation. See, this is the way we're currently navigating how you know who people are. You look to see what it is that concerns them. You see, the virtue signal can be a trap because whenever they do this over concerning about things, it makes you realize that, wait a minute, you're actually speaking up for the people that murdered someone. Wait a minute, you're actually speaking up for the people that are sending in ancient provocateur agitators onto the street. Wait a minute, you're actually bailing Antifa out of jail. Wait a minute, you're advocating for, we're going to take them back to the old world, Jeff, where there's no income taxes and you can pass your money to your family for free. Whenever they're going against that and thinking that you're crazy for thinking that, I think we can easily discern that we're over the target and in the right position.
So we have that that crazy bald
Reed.
chick,
Reed, joyless Reed,
joyless Reed.
There's no joy in that thing.
They're acting like paying tax,
It's craziest thing. That's the craziest clip on the internet, man.
Whoever says, "Hey, I can't wait to pay my federal income taxes."
We're all so
said no one ever. No one ever has said that. Shady.
What says that?
Oh my God.
That was spectacular. That hit me first thing the other morning. I think it might have been Monday morning whenever I saw that. I'm like, wow, there's a start to your week. I thought they were afraid of something else.
It just hit me.
It just hit me.
Wow. Let me see if I can find that. It's not too far down here. I don't believe.
It might have been yesterday, but maybe it was Monday. For some reason, it kind of blended together. But that was so good. It would be interesting for people that more than likely you don't see this. And by the way, isn't it crazy watching Fox News? Fox News is doing nothing but promoting Democrat talking points 24/7. If AOC says something, it's a Fox story. If Mohad Dominator thing, whatever you call it up there in New York, if he says something, it's a Fox News story. These people are Stephen Smith has got a Sirius XM show on the Patriot channel on Sirius. They got the Stephen Smith guy on there, so Hannity is helping him out.
Yeah, and by the way, Patriot channel, if you want a real show,
we'd love to be there.
At Connect,
that, by the way,
Connect and at mg.show. Joyless Reed warns America of dangerous MAGA plans. Are you ready for the dangerous MAGA plans?
Is this really what you should be afraid of?
Dangerous.
If you go back before the 20th century, there were no income taxes. There were no regulations on business. You could earn as much money as you want, leave 100% of it to your children with no taxes. Right. That's the world they want back. And to get it back, they need society to change. They need people to be less modern. They need people to want fewer things. Is that if you go...
I mean, what?
Wait. How do I want people to have fewer things if I want people to have more money? What the hell kind of I swear, man, these people would literally talk themselves right into a guillotine. I mean, it's insane what they say, man. They say it so sincere, they say it with this sincerity. Oh yes, I'm the smartest person in the room, and if you don't think it's like this NPR MK Ultra thing.
It's weird, and she's bald. And then remember when she wore the blonde wig, and everybody says, "Hey, I like your Trump hair." I can't remember who said that. Oh my God.
It was Trump hair.
Oh, wow.
No, she was going to do the YMCA, but it never materialized.
Unreal. She isn't it. They are nutters. I mean, and your friends and family are eating this crap up.
They love it. They love it. They think that they're the resistance. Yeah. They've got this whole segment of the population believing that the Democrat organization and the Antifa are resisting, they're the ones that are the rebels that you heard the people sing about in old songs. No. The rebels are the people that the media attacks 98% of the time. The rebels are the people that the globalists say. The rebels are the people that are saying, to hell with the globalists that control everything. That's the rebel in the room.
Yeah. Patriot Public says, I feel like I want to move more and more to Florida every day. We have open carry now here, man.
And working on no property taxes.
No property taxes is already being worked on as well. And we don't pay state income tax already.
And if you guys could like somehow reduce the humidity, I'd be there in 10 minutes.
We were 84 degrees yesterday with a 90% humidity, Shady.
It's just so stupid, man. I can't breathe like a fish.
You got to get these gills.
They're so good. I saw some on Amazon, but I'm afraid to buy the cheap ones.
And, it might make people from New York a little bit wackadoodle. Check.
So,
Here, let me just leave it with this.
You're good. I think it's more racist to be like offended by the meme than it is to make the meme.
That is. Holy moly, guys. And let's just look at this. Look at this. Donald Trump leaked the pictures. He's pointing at him. Look at the Trump 2028 hat.
That picture was on the internet before those two got out of that meeting, guys. It was literally like they came out of the meeting with Trump pointing to them like, oh, it's going to be Trump 2028. Here's the shop. Come on into the merch store.
Yeah, it's amazing, guys. Wow.
That's
Democrats.
an interesting post by Poussaint.
Yeah, I saw. But what's his? So Poussaint posted. It looks like who didn't come yesterday? Who was there supposed to be? Holder. Wiener Holder. Eric Holder.
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 Wiener.
Apparently he didn't show up, but October 2nd is Merrick Garland. October 7th, James Comey. October 9th, Hillary Clinton. And Shady, I'm going to be there on the 14th.
You're going to actually go in there, Bill. What? That's an interesting date for you, Bill. That's going to be like 14 days away from the anniversary of 8-year anniversary of Q? Oh my God.
Wow.
8 years.
What date?
The 14th of October is 14 days away from 8 years since the first Q drop.
Oh, 14 days. Okay.
Yeah, that was my
math wasn't mathing because, oh my God.
Yeah, you see, I said that very, very articulately.
I don't know about that.
No, I did.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I really did.
I don't know about that.
I know you don't. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh man. Man.
By the way, the message that we played, did you guys like that? The message that the White House is currently playing whenever you call in, that's like a real message. That wasn't a meme. Like, that really happens, dude. If you call into the White House right now. They're going to explain to you that
no, that's to the White House press. Yeah, the press
secretary. Room, yeah. It's like
check it out.
Yep.
Okay.
Disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
Oh, God.
I love my president.
We could not have done this without AI.
Yeah. It's the comment line, says Yeti. It was the comment line, apparently.
Oh.
But here, look at that. This is iconic, guys. Look at this pointing. Look at this.
He's trying to pour water on me.
Look at that. He's like, AOC wants to run against me in my district, and I got to capitulate to the communists.
You know, I got a message for
this guy. Look at his face. Look at.
He's so worried about AOC. Well, what if you don't have the illegal immigrants? What if we don't have any money to pay the illegal immigrants to eat and they have to go home and then they're not here to vote in 2026? I don't really think that it matters who's running against you, Chuck Schumer. I think it's possible that you might lose your seat to a Republican challenger and not to AOC. And it's very interesting because, outside of California and Oregon, I think that we might start seeing this in a lot of different states. What if you start to see American cities turning red?
Yeah.
Think about that. I think we currently are sitting here in a situation where every single major city is controlled by a Democrat mayor. Every single one of them. I don't think there's a single major city that has a Republican mayor, maybe one or two. But the reality of the situation is they're all blue and they all vote blue.
Good afternoon,
because
everyone.
of all of these illegal immigrants. And Karoline
Packed house here today, and I
it.
have a very special guest with us, the Vice President of the United States. He'll deliver some remarks and take some questions. First, I just want to share remarks of my own. Democrats in Congress have officially shut down the United States government. House Republicans passed a nonpartisan, clean piece of legislation to extend current government funding until November 21st. But nearly every single Democrat senator voted against this bill. To be clear, this was the exact same bill that Democrats approved 6 short months ago in March, just adjusted for inflation. This is the same kind of clean funding bill that Democrats passed 13 separate times when they held the majority during Joe Biden's administration. So the American people woke up this morning and asked the obvious question: why is the government shut down right now? The answer is pure partisan politics being played by the Democrat Party. The Democrats shut down the government because President Trump and the Republicans will not force American taxpayers to pay for free health care for illegal aliens. America is $37 trillion in debt. We cannot afford to provide taxpayer-funded free health care to illegals who broke the law to enter our country. To put this all into perspective, the Democrats refused to keep the government open over health care to illegal aliens and now have jeopardized critical health care programs for American citizens instead. The Women, Infants, and Children program, community health center funding, Medicare treatment options, and other health programs are now all at risk because of the Democrats rejecting the Clean CR. The most vulnerable in our country are being punished because the Democrats want to prioritize illegals over American citizens. And if Democrats actually cared about health care, they would applaud the actions taken by President Trump just yesterday in the Oval Office. He took a bold and massively popular action to improve our healthcare system. He announced the first agreement with a major pharmaceutical company, Pfizer, to lower drug costs for Americans. This is a historical achievement long sought by past Democrat presidents that only President Trump was able to get done. Also yesterday, while the Democrats were whining about health care for illegal aliens, President Trump signed a powerful executive order to supercharge American AI innovation and unlock cures for pediatric cancer patients in the United States. While President Trump took action to lower drug prices and improve the lives and the care of American children with cancer, again, Democrats are fighting to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. The Trump administration is fully committed to lowering healthcare costs and advancing policies that will save American lives. But right now, we need to keep the government open and funded. And individuals and organizations across the political spectrum, across the country, agree with the Trump administration and Republicans. The labor union leader, the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, sent a very blunt message to Democrats over their destructive antics. He said American workers are not bargaining chips. Senators need to stop screwing around and pass the House-passed clean short-term funding bill. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the world's largest business organization, called to immediately pass the Republican Clean CR, saying, quote, shutdowns are harmful to the economy, the American people, and our national security. And even Democrat Senators Cortez Masto and Fetterman acknowledged that their party is betraying the American people with this costly and chaotic Democrat shutdown. Enough is enough. Democrats need to stop sabotaging our country and holding the American people hostage in the country. Democrats need to do their jobs. The American people want the government reopened, and this is proven in a new New York Times poll showing that 2 in 3 Americans say the government should not be shut down by the Democrats, even if their absurd demands are not met. The president and Republicans are working very hard to reopen the federal government. The vice president here has been crucial in this effort. We encourage all Americans across the country, call your Democrat senators and encourage them to reopen the government. That's what President Trump and the vice president want to do. And with that, I will turn it over to our great vice president, J.D. Vance.
Great. Well, thank you, Karoline, and good afternoon to everybody, and good afternoon to everybody who's watching at home. It's a tough act to follow, but let me just say a few things, and then I'll take a few questions. Number one, Democrats say that they care a lot about lowering healthcare costs, and yet, when the president took historic action to work with the drug companies to lower prescription drug prices, the Democrats did nothing to help us. In fact, we would have loved to have the Democrats helping us, but they didn't. They talk about doing something. They don't actually do the hard work of making it happen. What they have done instead is to shut down the government because we won't give billions of dollars to healthcare funding for illegal aliens. That is what has actually happened. To the American people who are watching, the reason your government is shut down at this very minute is because, despite the fact that the overwhelming majority of congressional Republicans and even a few moderate Democrats supported opening the government, the Chuck Schumer AOC wing of the Democratic Party shut down the government because they said to us, we will open the government, but only if you give billions of dollars of funding for health care for illegal aliens. That's a ridiculous proposition. Let me say two other quick things, and then again, I'll take some questions. Number one, we all understand that Democrats and Republicans have policy disagreements. The Democrats want to do things. Look, when Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries were in here a couple of days ago, they made some suggestions that the president was more than happy to say, yes, let's sit down and talk about how we can solve the healthcare crisis that we inherited from the Biden administration. But it's one thing to say that we should solve the healthcare crisis for Americans. It's another thing to say that we're going to shut down the government unless we give the Democrats every single thing that they want, which, as Karoline says, includes giving billions of dollars of taxpayer funding for healthcare for illegal migrants. That's ridiculous. You don't have policy disagreements that serve as the basis for a government shutdown. Let's have the conversation about how to fix American healthcare, about how to make healthcare more accessible. As the president showed, he's more than willing to act on behalf of the American people for this very reason. What you don't do is say, unless you do exactly what we want to do as congressional Democrats, we're taking a hostage. And the hostage, it turns out, is critical, essential services that the American people need. Karoline talked about some of it. Let me talk about some more. Our troops are not getting paid starting today because of the Chuck Schumer wing of the Democratic Party. We have people who require food assistance, low-income Americans who require food assistance, who will not get it unless we reopen the government, thanks to Chuck Schumer and his wing of the Democratic Party. We have flood insurance as we start hurricane season in the southeastern part of our country. That flood insurance is going to disappear because of Chuck Schumer and the far left of the Democratic Party. We need to reopen the government. Let's fix America's problems. Let's work together to solve them. But let's reopen the government before we have our negotiation about health care policy. That's what the American people demand, and that's certainly what the President of the United States wants. Let me make one final point. I think a lot of Americans are asking themselves, why did this happen? Why did the Democrats shut down the government despite, as Karoline said, voting on the exact same piece of legislation 6 months ago? And there are a lot of different spins that we can put on it, a lot of different answers that we could give, all of them true. One answer I already gave is that they want to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. That is true. They gave us legislative text that would have undone us cutting off health care benefits for illegal aliens. That's one of the things that they asked for. But the reality here, and let's be honest about the politics, is that Chuck Schumer is terrified she's going to get a primary challenge from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The reason why the American people's government is shut down is because Chuck Schumer is listening to the far left radicals in his own party because he's terrified of a primary challenge. So I'd invite Chuck Schumer to join the moderate Democrats and 52 Senate Republicans, do the right thing, open up the people's government, and then let's fix healthcare policy for the American people. Questions?
Mr. Vice President.
That's a lot. Matt Boyle.
Okay. Mr. Vice President, there's two key Democrat lies I would like to get your take on and see if you can address. The first is that you're seeing a number of top Democrat leaders, from Kamala Harris and Chuck Schumer to Hakeem Jeffries, claim that it is a Republican shutdown caused by Trump. The second is that they're out there now claiming that they don't want to give health care to illegal aliens. Can you address both of those lies from the Democrat Party?
Yeah, so on the point that it's a Republican shutdown, look, it's obviously a Democratic shutdown. Just look at the vote totals in the House, look at the vote totals in the Senate, and look at the President of the United States' own action and conduct throughout this crisis. Nearly every single House Republican voted to open the government, Matt. Nearly every single Senate Republican voted to open the government last night, and even to their credit, a few moderate Democrats voted to open the government. That's not a Republican shutdown when nearly every single Senate Democrat votes to shut it down and every Republican voted to open it up. It's just obviously not true. Now, you can disagree about a number of things, but you can't disagree about the obvious fact that Republicans voted to open the government. The president stands ready to sign that opening of the government. We just need a few more Democrats to join us in that effort to open the government. Your final question about illegal alien benefits. Look, the text is very clear, and I even saw, I think it was George Stephanopoulos in an interview with Mike Johnson, did a fact check that was totally rooted in baseless claims. It was basically Democrat propaganda. If you look at the legislative text that they gave us, they tried to turn on two separate provisions that would give health care benefits to illegal aliens. Number one, if you're an American citizen, you've been to a hospital in the last few years, you probably noticed that wait times are especially large, and very often somebody who's there in the emergency room waiting is an illegal alien, very often a person who can't even speak English. Why do those people get healthcare benefits at hospitals paid for by American citizens? The answer is a decision made by the Biden administration that the Trump administration, working with congressional Republicans, undid. We turned off that money spigot to healthcare funding for illegal aliens. The Democrats, in their legislative text, want to turn it back on. That's one thing. The second thing, Matt, is we all know that there are various ways in which the Biden administration waved away illegal immigration status. They gave parolees, they gave asylum claims to people who weren't really claiming asylum. And when they waved the magic wand of amnesty, giving millions of people legal status, even though they were in the country illegally, they also gave those people access to health care benefits. So what the Democrats are engaging in is a sleight of hand. They're saying, no. Those weren't illegal aliens who were getting health care benefits, even though everybody, knows they were in the country illegally. It's a lie told by the Democrats that they're not trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens. It's a lie that is obviously untrue if you just look at the text that they gave us. And all you have to do is understand that this is about who benefits. We think the American people's government ought to benefit American citizens. The Democrats are willing to shut it down to benefit illegal aliens. The contrast couldn't be more clear. Peter.
Thank you, Vice President Vance. The big holdup is, of course, that you guys say illegal immigrants are getting taxpayer-funded health care. Democrats say you're lying. That makes it feel like it could be a really long shutdown. Is this going to be a long shutdown?
I don't know. I can't predict what congressional Democrats are going to do, Peter, but I actually don't think it's going to be that long of a shutdown. This is a pure guess from the Vice President of the United States because I think you already saw some evidence that moderate Democrats are cracking a little bit. They understand the fundamental illogic of this. Look, for years, every single one of us, we can remember Barack Obama on the White House lawn. We can remember Chuck Schumer. We can remember, Nancy Pelosi for years. In Chuck Schumer's case, for literally decades, we've heard them say, you don't shut the government down over policy disagreement. Okay, Republicans think this thing about healthcare, that thing about healthcare. Democrats think this thing about immigration. Republicans disagree. Whatever those disagreements are, you don't shut down the government over it. For the first time since the Democrats have been in politics, they're now saying that unless we get every policy item that we demand, we're going to shut down the people's government. They're trying to take a hostage, and we're not going to let them.
And the administration announced today that $18 billion bound for New York transportation projects is going to be frozen so it can't go to DEI programs there. But the timing of this, does announcing that today mean that you guys are going to squeeze Chuck Schumer's home state until he blinks?
Look, I haven't talked to Russ about this morning, but look, I'm sure that Russ is heartbroken about the fact that he's unable to give certain things to certain constituencies. We want to do everything that we can to help the American people, but when the Democrats shut down the government, we have to actually do a little triage to make sure the most critical and most essential services are provided. The government does a lot of things. Of course, Republicans think that the federal government probably does too much, but there are a lot of critical things the federal government does that absolutely all of us would agree need to do. Our troops need to get paid. Our air traffic controllers need to make sure that people are flying safely and on time. We need low-income people to be able to access the food services that are provided by the federal government. There are critical things that need to be saved. We're going to do everything that we can over the coming weeks, if the shutdown lasts that long, to ensure that people get the essential services that they need, despite the fact that Chuck Schumer has shut down the federal government. It's not going to be perfect because we are in a government shutdown. We are going to have to lay some people off if the shutdown continues. We don't like that. We don't necessarily want to do it, but we're going to do what we have to keep the American people's essential services continuing to run. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, and thank you for being here. Yesterday, President Trump said, as a result of the shutdown, we'll be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very effective, and the Democrats, they are going to be Democrats. Has the administration asked agencies to target federal workers who they believe to be Democrats in these reductions of forces?
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much as possible of the essential services can continue to function. That is the question the president has asked the entire government, is fundamentally, okay, we're going to shut
any
down.
government without
causes some
being
problems.
Democrats.
Troops aren't getting paid. There's nothing that we can do about that while the government is shut down. But there are essential services that we want to make sure as much as possible they still continue to function. That is the principle that's driving us forward during this shutdown. It's going to continue to be the principle that drives us forward. But let's be honest. if this thing drags on for another few days or, God forbid, another few weeks, we are going to have to lay people off. We're going to have to save money in some places so the essential services don't get turned off in other places. That is the reality of the government shutdown that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have foisted upon the administration.
So what does he mean by they're going to be Democrats? He said they're going to be Democrats.
You've laid out a lot of the pain and problems that would come with a Democratic shutdown, and yet in the Oval Office yesterday, the president said that a lot of good could come from a shutdown. So square that circle. Which is it, a Democratic-caused crisis or a Republican opportunity for reform?
Well, I think all the president is saying, Phil, is that he wants to make sure the American people's government functions as well as it can, despite the fact that we're in a shutdown. We're going to have to make things work. And that means that we're going to have to triage some certain things. That means certain people are going to have to get laid off. And we're going to try to make sure that the American people suffer as little as possible from this shutdown. That's what the president is saying, is that, yes, this is a bad thing. Obviously, the president is trying to reopen the government, but we're going to make things work as well as we possibly can, given the constraints that we have.
On those policy differences for the discussion and the negotiations to come later, during the Biden administration, Democrats twice voted to expand these Affordable Care Act tax credits. But those were supposed to be temporary, and they were slated to expire at the end of the year. As you sort of crack the door open to negotiation at a later date, would the party that ran on defunding Obamacare really negotiate about potentially expanding Obamacare?
Well, Phil, what we've said to the Democrats is that we're willing to have a conversation about how to ensure that Americans continue to have access to health care. And frankly, they should have access to better health care at a lower cost. We inherited a mess of a health care system from the Biden administration. It's why the president has worked so hard on the most favored nation status for prescription drugs. It's why we care so much about lowering the cost of prescriptions and why we're doing everything else. We're willing to have that conversation, but I think it's important to bracket the healthcare policy conversation because it's separate from the government shutdown. We think that we can open the government and then have the conversation about what best healthcare policy to fit the needs of the American people. That's all we're trying to do. That's all we're trying to accomplish. We've got to reopen the government first. Now, Karoline, I don't know how you do this, how you actually choose people, because I don't know 90% of the names in here. Is it just who's the best dressed? Okay, I really like your shirt. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. You are president of the Senate. Can you talk about what you're doing, what the administration is doing to try to get other Senate Democrats to vote to open the government?
Yeah, we're talking to a number of our colleagues, Democratic and Republican in the Senate. I talked to a number of them last night. The president, of course, is talking to them as well. I think there really are two categories of demands that I've seen privately from congressional Democrats. I think on the one hand, those who are negotiating in good faith are saying, look, we just want to make sure that we're able to have a conversation with the administration about some of the critical needs that we see that need to get fixed over the next few months. We recognize it's kind of absurd, and a lot of them will admit in private that it's kind of absurd to shut down the people's government over these disagreements, but just agree to negotiate with us in good faith on these issues. And of course, we're having that conversation with them. Then there's another category, people who say, give us everything we want, or we're going to keep the government shut down. We just write those people off because they're not negotiating in good faith. And frankly, we don't need it. We've already got 3 more Democrats last night than I thought we would get. And I think it's because they recognize the illogic of the position of taking the entire American economy hostage because they don't get their policy priorities. So 3 moderate Democrats joined 52 Republicans last night. We need 5 more in order to reopen the government. And that's really where we're going to focus, is how to get those 5 additional Democrats.
Thanks, Mr. Vice President. First 2 questions. Are there plans to meet Democratic leaders again in the coming days, or are you planning on plucking off senators one by one?
So that's the whole question?
No, I got a second question.
Okay, go ahead and ask the second question.
So the president's been posting some images of Leader Jeffries and Senator Schumer.
I saw.
Recently. You've said that you're interested in good faith negotiations with these leaders, but what message does that send? Is it helpful to post pictures of Leader Jeffries in a sombrero if you're trying to have good faith talks with him?
Oh, I think it's funny. The president's joking, and we're having a good time. You can negotiate in good faith while also poking a little bit of fun at some of the absurdities of the Democrats' positions, and even poking some fun at the absurdity of the Democrats themselves. I mean, I'll tell Hakeem Jeffries right now, I make this solemn promise to you that if you help us reopen the government, the sombrero memes will stop. And I've talked to the President of the United States about that. Now, to your first question, are we negotiating one-on-one? Are we negotiating in groups? Look, I will go to the U.S. Capitol right now and meet with Chuck Schumer or any Senate Democrat if it helps us reopen the government. Most of the conversations, in my experience at least, have been one-off. We're also, of course, relying on some of our Senate Republican colleagues who have good relationships across the aisle. We're going to do whatever we have to do is the answer. And I think it's tough to predict what shape this negotiation is going to take over the next few months. But I feel good about the fact that Democrats already realize privately the fundamental irrationality of their position. I hope that they're going to publicly acknowledge it and reopen the government. The guy in the back, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. You responded to a post on X of Chuck Schumer on the House floor back in 1996, railing against illegal immigrants receiving taxpayer-funded benefits. You said Chuck Schumer once recognized that it was disastrous to give illegal aliens rewards for breaking the law. Now he wants to shut down the government unless we reward illegal aliens for breaking the law. Why has Chuck Schumer changed his stance?
You know, that's a good question. Actually, it's a very tough question. Asking me to get in the head of Chuck Schumer is not a place I particularly want to be, but my basic read on it is that the entire Democratic Party, the political leadership, not every Democrat nationwide, but the political leadership of their party has got it into their heads that the only way to be compassionate is to be compassionate to illegal aliens rather than American citizens. If you go back to what Bill Clinton was saying, even Barack Obama in some cases, what he was saying about illegal immigration 10, 15, 20 years ago, you would put them on the MAGA right based purely on their rhetoric around illegal immigration. So I don't know why they've gone so far to the left. I think it's bad for the country. I think it's bad for them politically. But our principle, all I can do is speak for the president that I serve and the country, the administration that I serve right now. We believe that the American people's government exists for the American people. That means the people who have the legal right to be here, and that's why we're fighting to reopen the government. And unfortunately, the Democrats are fighting to shut it down for the benefit of illegal aliens. And I'll take a couple more, and then I'll let Karoline. I'll go back to my day job so Karoline can go back to hers. All right. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Just going back to the sombrero, you said that the president is joking, but Hakeem Jeffries says that these memes were racist. What's your response to that? And just if I may briefly go off topic, Secretary Hegseth yesterday made an edict about no more beardos in the military. Just wondered what.
Sorry, what did he say?
No more beardos. Beards. Sorry, it's my accent. Just wondered your response to that.
I didn't see that particular comment. I thought Pete gave a hell of a speech, and a speech that really is just oriented around returning the American military to the very high standards that it has had for virtually its entire history until Joe Biden came along and decided to lower standards. I think it was bad for our military, and it was bad for our troops. When I was a young United States Marine, I did not have a beard. I am now the vice president, so I get to do what I want to do. But I think Pete's trying to re-implement high standards, and that's a very good thing. On the sombrero thing, I mean, Hakeem Jeffries said it was racist, and I know that he said that, and I honestly don't even know what that means. Like, is he a Mexican American that is offended by having a sombrero meme? I mean, I saw one of the major TV stations put the meme up and then say, this is AI generated. And he had like the curly animated mustache too. It's like, do you really not realize the American people recognize that he did not actually come to the White House wearing a sombrero and a black curly animation mustache? Like, give the country a little bit of credit. We're all trying to do a very important job for the American people. The President of the United States likes to have a little bit of fun when he's doing it, and I think that's okay. I'll take one more question.
Mr. Vice President, in every previous shutdown, workers have been furloughed, not laid off. So why does the president want to fire some workers and not just furlough them? Why is this shutdown any different?
Because we, the American people, think our government is bloated, and this is what we, the Republicans, and the some Democrats actually voted for. Shady.
That's exactly right.
Why don't they understand it? Our government is spending like it's a frickin' drunken sailor.
Because they're the ones getting paid by the drunken sailor.
Oh, gotcha. Makes sense.
First of all, we haven't made any final decisions about what we're going to do with certain workers. What we're saying is that we might have to take extraordinary steps, especially the longer this goes on. We're going to have to take extraordinary measures to ensure the people's government operates, again, not perfectly, because it's not going to operate perfectly in the midst of a shutdown, but operate as well as it possibly can. And I think that the Democrats, if they're so worried about the effect this is having on the American people, and they should be, what they should do is reopen the government, not complain about how we respond to the fact that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have shut down the government in the first place. Thank you all.
Also said he's going to target some benefits, Mr. Vice President.
See you guys.
Get the hell out of here.
I'll lead you to the den of vipers, right?
You people are nuts.
I mean, look at them. I mean, they are nuts, Shady.
They are literally like walking psychopaths.
When is NBC, when are they going to have an actual pro-Trump news show? Their ratings would go sky high. When are they going to do that? When?
They don't want any ratings, Jeff. Everybody would draw and quarter them if they were to be even like 10% pro-Trump.
And that's why you watch the MG show. Thank you, guys. And Mickey, I'm glad you got your
110% pro-Trump.
Glad you got your stickers, Clag. Thank you for the subscriptions. You guys are awesome. And here, back to Karoline Leavitt.
Thank you, Jeff, for getting those stickers out to our great patriots in such an unbelievably quick
breakneck speed. And did you get Poussant's out? Did you get Poussant's out?
She's already got them. Don't stop.
All right. I forgot to follow up. All right, here we go. Back to Karoline. Thank you, guys.
Well, let's let the fun continue. The Vice President's a very busy man, and I'm happy to take some more questions. I know there's more news today. Aside from the shutdown, we can focus on the shutdown if you want, but let's go ahead. Kate, why don't you start?
The President talked about doing things that he said were irreversible during the shutdown, cutting vast numbers of people, he said, and cutting programs. Can you specify what exactly he was referring to, what's on the table, and what's going to be cut?
Look, I think the Vice President just referred to this in some of the answers that he gave regarding the layoffs. There are unfortunate consequences to a government shutdown, and the federal government is not receiving any cash at the moment, and so the Office of Management and Budget has been tasked with looking over the receipts and looking over the budget of the entire federal bureaucracy, and as the Vice President said, determining what needs to continue to go out the door and what can we continue to keep running, and what unfortunately is going to have to come to an end. So those decisions are being made, and unfortunately layoffs are very likely, as the Vice President just said, going to be a part of that.
And has the White House had any direct response from Hamas from the peace proposal that was laid out? The President said he would give 3 or 4 days, but is there a hard deadline now, or what are the next steps here?
I will reiterate what the President of the United States said, 3 or 4 days, and I can tell you that there are some very sensitive discussions that are taking place, but I certainly don't want to get ahead of any announcement at this podium. I'm going to let Special Envoy Witkoff and the President of the United States handle that.
Thank you, Caroline. 2 questions. First of all, following up on that, the President said yesterday, I believe, within 3 or 4 days he wanted to hear an answer from Hamas. Is he still sticking by that timeline?
Yes, as I just confirmed.
And then second question is a comment that's gotten a lot of global attention. Senator Dick Durbin, he was set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Catholic Church. Since declined accepting it because there has been some controversy. Pope Leo commented on this, and he said that someone who says I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhumane treatment of immigrants in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life. You've been very open about your Catholic faith. How do you respond to that?
I would reject there is inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the United States under this administration. There was, however, significant inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the previous administration as they were being trafficked and raped and beaten, and in many cases killed over our United States southern border. You also look at the inhumane treatment at the hands of some of these illegal immigrants that took place under the previous administration as well. Laken Riley comes to mind, a beautiful American citizen who was killed at the hands of an illegal immigrant. So this administration is trying to enforce our nation's laws in the most humane way possible, and we're upholding the law, and we're doing that on behalf of the people of our country who live here.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. What is the level of concern that the administration has regarding a protracted government shutdown in terms of its impact on the U.S. economy and also its impact on small businesses as well?
Well, look, this government shutdown is no doubt going to impact everyday Americans, and it is the fault of the Democrats that we are in this position. And I know I relayed some programs that will be impacted, the Vice President did as well, but I just want to make sure the American public understand what the Democrats have done to our government and our country. 1.3 million active duty troops will work now without pay. Critical food assistance for low-income women, infants, and children will now lapse. No new mothers or children are allowed to join this critical program because of the Democrats' decision to shut down the government. Telehealth services for seniors and in-home treatment options for Medicare patients will now come to an end. Nearly 50,000 members of the United States Coast Guard are going to have to work unpaid. Over 13,000 air traffic controllers will work without pay, as well as TSA agents, which will very likely create flight disruptions. And pay will now stop for over 150,000 federal law enforcement officers. These are not just numbers and statistics.
I'm okay with eliminating
Real
TSA.
Americans who
real quick.
have families at
Oh, here.
home. And I saw some.
You mean you don't like to be groped before going on a plane that's never solved any or saved any airplane from crashing or anything, Shady?
No. It's the only thing it's done is contaminated my integrity.
Turn your head and cough, please.
No, sir.
Democrat members today saying they're still going to accept their paychecks because they have 3 kids at home and they have mouths to feed. Well, so do these federal workers who those same Democrats just voted to shut down the government and turn off their pay. And we believe that's very unfair, and it's why the administration wants to see the government reopened.
By the way, ZFM had a great, Z4 FM 58 said, JD should return and just throw a bunch of sombreros at everybody at the press pool.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if he came back out the door like throwing sombreros like MAGA hats to the media? Oh my God!
That's awesome. Rev Rob says, my big stickers on my front door is for me and my house. We will serve the Lord and stand with the MG show. Rev Rob, thank you. And tell Charlotte I said hello. Notice I put her name first when I mailed it to you because I know who's boss.
The boss.
Thank you so much for your support, guys.
Growth fell by about half a percentage point during the last government shutdown during the president's first term. Are you expecting a similar type of impact on GDP growth related to this potential protracted government shutdown?
Well, look, I think it's dependent upon how long this shutdown continues. So it's dependent on how long it takes Democrats to muster up the coverage, 5 of them to vote in the best interest of our country, our citizens, and our economy. Eamon.
Thank you, Caroline. Yesterday, your administration took a 5% stake in Lithium Americas and a stake in the mine that they're working on, and you've taken stakes in other companies and revenue streams from other companies. Can you articulate the broader principle here? When does the administration see it as appropriate to demand equity stakes or revenue streams from American companies? And what other companies are you going to be demanding those from?
Well, look, this is a creative solution by the President of the United States to tackle our nation's crippling debt crisis. As I said earlier, we are $37 trillion, trillion with a T, in debt. And not only is the president effectively utilizing tariffs to bring in massive amounts of revenue, and there's billions of dollars coming in every month. I know you know that, even because you cover it on CNBC quite well. So the president is focused on how can the United States government make more money? How can we make our country wealthy and rich again? And cutting some of these unique creative deals with companies around the world and here at home is just one way the president is seeking to do that. And I know the Department of Energy just announced this new deal. It's another great deal for the American people and our government.
And on Lisa Cook,
Sure, go ahead.
Lisa Cook,
Yeah.
the Supreme Court said today that she's going to be allowed to stay at the Federal Reserve Board until oral arguments in January. Does the president have any personal reaction to that? This has been something he's been very intent on.
Look, we have respect for the Supreme Court, but they're going to hear the actual case and make a determination on the legal argument in January, and we look forward to that.
Pause a second.
That she was fired well within the president.
I'd just like to jump in here real quick with a little piece of information for you guys, because, you know, it's like all this stuff that Donald Trump's been talking about with like tariffs and different things. I just want you guys to see this. I just threw this into AI real quick so you could see company revenue streams subject to government portions pre the 1900s. In other words, before the Federal Reserve. And so I'm showing you this so that you can see what it is that we've been telling you is accurate. What it is that we've been telling you is that Donald Trump is working on bringing America back to the Republic. The Republic doesn't mean like some sort of way that you walk into the courtroom. The Republic means the way that the country is actually structured and the financial system works. Before 1900, the U.S. government relied heavily on customs duties and excise taxes for revenue, which were collected from businesses involved in foreign trade and specific domestic industries. Governments also received revenue from the sale of public land, resource leases, and state-level property or franchise taxes in earlier non-industrial economies. This is the way that we're getting back to the system that we had before, where government is funded by the system that is actually producing resources and producing funds back to the system that is the governing body over it. This is a perfect example of why Donald Trump says things like, I love tariffs. Tariffs is my favorite word, because what he's trying to do is what he's working on doing, and this government shutdown blends into it, is he's getting rid of the burden on you. So the burden on you of paying your income tax every year. But you think that the government is using that and spending that wisely. Well, they're not. They're stealing it from you, and they're stealing everything else that's not nailed down. We're going back to a system of metrics where we can meter the amount of revenue that is coming in, and then we can clearly show that, look, we are bringing in more than we are spending. Now we're going to start spending down the national debt. Now we're going to start eliminating the tax burden on the American people. The news media will not explain it to you in that regard. And as a matter of fact, they will advocate for the companies and for the opposition to the foreign governments that don't like us putting these types of penalties on them.
Legal authority to do so. She was removed from the board, and we look forward to that case being fully played out at the Supreme Court. Reagan.
Caroline, I have one for you on EJ and Tony and one on the shutdown.
Sure.
CNN reported that Collins and Murkowski declined to meet with EJ and Tony, raising concerns that his nomination was in trouble. I'm wondering what message Collins and Murkowski are sending to the White House by not meeting with one of the president's nominees.
Well, look, EJ Antony remains a great ally of the president and our team. It became clear, unfortunately, that he was not going to have the votes, and so we will be announcing a replacement nominee very soon.
Shutdown. I'm just wondering how soon you could see cuts to the federal workplace, and if there's a specific agency that will experience the most cuts or people focused.
Unfortunately, because the Democrats shut down the government, the president has directed his cabinet, and the Office of Management and Budget is working with agencies across the board to identify where cuts can be made, and we believe that layoffs are imminent. They are, unfortunately, a consequence of this government shutdown. Ed.
So you talk about the layoffs being imminent. Is there a percentage then of reduction that the White House is looking for of workforce?
I don't have a specific percentage for you.
What about China, if I could? So China has not made one soybean purchase this year in the United States. I talked to a farmer yesterday who has about 1,000 acres in Iowa and says this is just killing her. Now, the president has been talking to President Xi. Could China not buying agriculture affect a possible meeting with the president? Would he not meet with Xi because China has refused to buy soybeans from the U.S.?
Look, I don't want to speak for the president and make a determination on that from this podium, but what I can tell you is that supporting America's farmers and doing what's best for them is at the top of the president's priority list, and it's at the top of the list for this administration right now. There have been several very high-level meetings on this very topic. We want to help our farmers, and we're exploring the best ways to do that. And I would anticipate there will be more to come on that very soon.
Send a message to the Chinese president.
Look, I just shared that message. The president wants what's best for America's farmers. Sean.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Two things to ask you about.
Sure.
First thing, I want to ask about this video that the president posted the other day. It was an AI deepfake of himself talking about something called med beds. What was he trying to communicate to the public there, and why did he delete it?
I think the president saw the video and posted it, and then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest, directly himself, many a times on Truth. You are hearing directly from the President of the United States.
Second thing, how did the White House decide that it is appropriate for Jared Kushner to be working on matters that involve Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia, three countries that combined have given him more than $2.5 billion for his investment firm?
I think it's, frankly, despicable that you're trying to suggest that it's inappropriate for Jared Kushner, who is widely respected around the world and has great trust in relationships with these critical partners in these countries, to strike a 20-point comprehensive detailed peace plan that no other administration would ever be able to achieve. And so Jared is donating his energy and his time to our government, to the President of the United States, to secure world peace. And that is a very noble thing. And this is a peace plan that has not just been accepted by Israel, but it has been applauded by Muslim and Arab countries around the world. It has been applauded by European leaders around the world. Virtually everyone in the world is supportive of this plan that Jared Kushner offered his time to help put together alongside our special envoy Witkoff. the Vice President, the President of the United States, Secretary Rubio, and the President's entire national security team. We are very proud of that plan, and we hope Hamas will accept it because it will lead to a more peaceful and prosperous Middle East.
Two questions. One, we're talking a lot about these layoffs and hypotheticals, but Speaker Johnson earlier today said that there is a proposal from the White House that House Republicans are expected to hear this afternoon about these mass layoffs. Can you tell us what is in that proposal? What agencies, what programs, what jobs?
What he's referring to is a proposal that our Office of Management and Budget Director, Russ Vought, is going to be proposing to the House Republican Conference. He's going to kind of walk them through what this unfortunately is going to look like so they can discuss it with their constituents back home in their respective districts. So I don't want to get ahead of the Office of Management and Budget, but I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that very soon. Look, we have to put a plan in place. It would be irresponsible of us not to take a look at each and every agency and get an understanding of what we're going to have to do moving forward to do the best we can in the midst of this government shutdown.
Just one more question on Netanyahu.
Thanks,
Caroline. Just on that point, though, Russ Vought told House members, according to our notice reporting, that RIFs would happen in 2 days. Already, we know that some have been sitting out from the U.S. Patent Office. So I wonder, one, this administration continues to say that they don't want to lay people off, but obviously there is a plan to lay people off. So what is your message to those people who are getting laid off? And then if the government...
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Don't let the
right?
door
I mean, can I say it? Shape up or ship out.
GTFOH.
Yeah.
reopens, will those risks reverse? Are they not permanent if the government specifically if it reopens pretty quickly?
Well, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, and it's because the Democrats have put us into this position. If the Democrats did not vote to shut down the government, we would not be standing up here talking about layoffs today. We'd be talking about all the other news stories going on in the world in our country. We'd be talking about all of the great things that this administration is doing to uplift Americans across the country. But unfortunately, the Vice President of the United States and I have to come out here today to talk about a government shutdown that the Democrats put us in this position. And a second question,
Thanks, Caroline. I'm just trying to clarify the timing of these potential layoffs to federal workers. You said imminent. The Vice President seemed to say in a couple of days. It looks like Russ Vought maybe said in 2 days. When would these layoffs begin?
2 days.
You just heard 4 other people ask that.
More announcements right now.
Is it just unclear, or are you waiting?
No, it's not unclear. All of those things are.
I'm sorry, Shady. I'm purposely ignoring you. What did you say?
Why are you doing what they're doing? I said the 4 people before that guy already asked that question. My goodness. It's like they're so concerned. Again, didn't we say at the beginning of this, pay attention to what they're concerned about? What they're concerned about is the bureaucracy.
Spending money.
Yes, they're concerned about Washington, D.C. They're saying, oh, well, are you targeting Democrats? You can't fire any government employees in Washington, D.C. and not fire Democrats. There's no Republicans that are like working in D.C.
Yeah. By the way, Shady, real quick, at 12:34 p.m. Today, DeSantis approves law allowing gold and silver as legal tender.
Oh, wow. So you can like go into your 7-Eleven and like buy a drink with a silver coin?
No wheezing the juice. All right, back to Karoline Leavitt.
Actually, that's amazing. Another reason to move forward. What about the humidity?
These rifts are unfortunately going to have to happen very soon.
It'll definitely
Dasha.
Can't help you with that.
Caroline, we've been talking about the Affordable Care Act, enhanced premium tax credits, and sort of the politics of it all, right? But this is a very real, tangible impact that American people will feel. The Kaiser Family Foundation says that with the ACA enhanced premium tax credits, without them, premiums will go up 114% on average. 19 million of the 24 million people who rely on the coverage are in states that President Trump won. Is he concerned what will happen to those families if this tax credit expires? And aside from the shutdown, is there a plan to keep those premiums down?
Look, as the Vice President just said, we are more than happy to have this conversation. The President and the Vice President and this team are more than happy to have that conversation with Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill, but it cannot happen right now. Right now, we need to reopen the United States federal government. because people are going without pay. You have thousands of federal workers who have to show up to work and not get paid, and that's an unfortunate situation the Democrats have put us in. Then we can discuss this very important issue of healthcare that the president absolutely wants to fix. As I mentioned yesterday, he took But those premiums do not expire until the end of the year. It's October 1st right now. And so we have a few months to have that conversation. And it's irresponsible of the Democrat Party to try to convince the American people that that conversation has to happen right now.
And
no,
the
what
news.
needs to happen right now is the reopening of the United States federal government. And then this administration will be happy to work with Democrats in good faith to come to a policy determination. But one red line the government has already made clear, this administration has already made clear, this administration is never going to support taxpayer-funded benefits going to illegal aliens. And we think it's despicable that that was one of the first proposals that Democrats put in their funding proposal and their CR. The Republican CR was a clean CR that would keep the government open. Democrats have voted for it 13 times in the past. The Democrats put this poison pill in there, this partisan pill. Why? Because they are beholden to the far left radicals in their party. And you already see 3 moderate Democrats having the courage to say, no, we need to keep the government open, and then we can have these conversations about health care. Mary.
Caroline, I just want to circle back to something the Vice President said about Ocasio-Cortez. I'm actually surprised it didn't come up sooner. So if Schumer is catering to the demands of Ocasio-Cortez, can you share whether the White House views this as cracks in Schumer's leadership, and would the Vice President be open to meeting with someone like her if she is assuming this role in the Democratic Party?
I'll let the Vice President speak on that himself. I think that certainly Senator Schumer was not expecting 3 moderates to break with him last night. In fact, last night you heard Senator Schumer say he can't guarantee that he will be able to hold his caucus together. And so again, we encourage Democrats to have the courage to do the right thing, do what you have done 13 times previously, and vote for this clean continuing resolution to keep the government funded. As for what the Trump administration and President Trump is going to do, we'll continue to be very public that we want the government to be open. And as the Vice President said, we'll continue to work in good faith with anyone on Capitol Hill who wants to do right by the American people. Thank you all so much. We'll see you later.
Wow. You mean, so our president is standing up to the communists that want to screw you, the American people. You know, Chuck Schumer negotiating with Donald Trump. Donald Trump will eat his
lunch.
Yeti, don't do it.
Don't even think about it.
I'll eat your ass.
Oh, God.
I will.
Oh,
no,
Tedros says, keep it up. Many are tempted into misleading others. Love. God bless you all. Thank you so much, Matthew 4:1-11. Thank you so much, Cram. Overtime. We got the $1 for the overtime. Appreciate you. But Shady, you know, these Democrats voted for this 13 times in a row. They're trying to set your president up. They're trying to set you up. Who did we vote for? The Democrats?
No, we would never do that.
Overwhelmingly, we won in a landslide by a lot.
Yeah, like 2,700 counties to like 450. Yeah, we won in a landslide. Every single county went towards the president. And don't you really like it? Don't you really like the position that we're finding ourselves in right now? Well, you know what they're doing? They just literally shut the government down. This is not figuratively. They literally shut the government down thinking that they were going to blackmail Donald Trump. Yeah. Like they literally thought they were going to blackmail him. So now, since they thought they were going to like quote unquote pull the wool over someone's eyes, they're getting ready to have the carpet pulled out from underneath them.
Rug pull.
Yeah, exactly, getting ready to happen. Or maybe it's the little thing that goes around their neck that jerks them off the stage. Whichever one that is, doesn't really matter to me. You know, all I want is the bureaucracy eliminated.
You know, it was funny. He went on Joe and Mika and said, that's an absolute effing lie. No, it's not.
I'm a lie.
You know why? Because we got the sauce. See, that's the problem with you Democrats.
That's right.
Okay? And you scumbags that attack this show. You never have any proof. Okay?
That's exactly right.
Just stupid logic. You know, Shady, J.D. Vance actually, let me just see if I got it here because he posted here. This is it. New health care insurance option for undocumented immigrants over 65. Who wants to give them health care?
Nobody.
No.
Democrats. Only Democrats.
I don't want them to have health care. I want them out of my effing country.
Every single Democrat will say the opposite. And it's so amazing. It's so amazing because this is how propaganda works, and propaganda has worked. And right now, this is why this is so tough. And you know, whenever JD was up there, you know what I was thinking? Thank God it's not Pence. You know, like that guy, you know, like you talk about a guy that couldn't hold a conversation, couldn't stay on point, and like meandered off into neocon thought forms 24/7. Thank God it's J.D. Vance, somebody that has some fresh opinions and somebody that actually thinks for himself and looks at you idiots and says, number one, he's like, you know, he's like acting like they're vermin. You know, he's like, I might be catching a disease. Can we put up some sort of fence between me and these people?
That's right. Mickey B says overtime. $5. Thank you.
What? It's overtime?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And real quick, Shady, before you, I got to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got one more.
Let's go.
Hey, football fanatics, are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune in to Westwood One for all the gridiron glory you crave. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays, don't miss a moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on the WestwoodOneSports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking ALEXA to open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Thank you guys all so very much. Yeah, Krim, lie until they believe it. That's exactly what they do. They lie until they literally are the type of people that
This is
believe
a
their
Fox
own
News
lie.
alert. Right now, the U.S. government.
Hey, what did the U.S. government do?
Shut down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just reported that. We already.
Did we report that yet?
Yeah, we told them that. The whole show was about. It was even in the title today.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are we future proofs past or what's going on?
We are. You know, you just completed the circle. We
Wow.
just literally ran into the brick wall.
What time is it there? What time is it there, Shady?
Right now it is 11:11, sir.
I'm 211. I'm future. You're past.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right about
Aha! Aha! My math ain't mathing. My math is mathing.
My friend. Thank you so much.
Whatever time frame you guys are in, thank you guys very much. And if you watch us later, thank you very much. You can send donations if you want to mg.show/donate, because we are apparently over the target, because apparently these people want us off the Twitter and all these platforms. But
what's it? Is a time frame? Is that the same thing as a picture frame? A time frame?
I'm never gonna stop.
I'm not gonna.
And Shady, why are you trolling me now?
I just had to. I couldn't resist right there. Like,
I never troll you. I'm perfect.
I know, you do too. You troll me all the time.
Never.
I love you.
Never. What do we got over there?
I don't know. Now you're distracted. Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right. Hey. All right. We'll see you guys. Have a happy Trump Day. Every day is Trump Day. Our government is shut down. Let's see what happens, guys. God bless you all. I love you guys. Thanks, Shady. Thanks, Yeti.
Many of you are beginning to awaken to a reality which you never suspected. You're coming out of the fantasy. You are becoming illumined.
I will never run. I will never stop until I find my way to you. I will never run. I will never stop until I find my way to
You are discovering that illumination can be upsetting. It can also be wonderful. That the real world is much different than the one you knew, and that the burden of the voice that speaks to you from within, as a result of that, is like the thunder and lightning of God. I know the feeling well. And if you're paying attention to it, is your first vision of God, because visions of God only come with the truth. When you see the truth, you are dealing with God. It's a vision absolutely necessary to all of our future progress if we're going to make any. Without this divine law, there could be no harmony of the soul. And as seekers after oneness with God, we must discover and apply to our own life the laws of His being. You see, it's easier to yield up something once and for all than maintain a daily conflict with ourselves and forcing upon ourselves obedience in thought, word, and deed to the divine law. The conflict is within you. It always has been. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a steep ascent, always rugged, mostly lonely, often very dangerous, and at times so very, very difficult as to seem beyond our ability, yet it is the only way. This nation hinges upon the success of those who are climbing.
www.mg.show. Boom.